Hi there, it's Rob Vanovermeire with Coldwell Banker Mountain Central. I hope you're all having a wonderful December. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone, and I hope you have a tremendous 2018. Let's just talk real estate. Everyone's been asking me, what has happened in Canmore in 2017 and what do you think will happen in 2018? Well, I don't have the crystal ball, but we're going to try to analyze a little bit of where we came from, and I'll give you my opinion on where I think we are going. First of all, you can see my website here. You'll notice that there are 156 listings in Canmore and surrounding areas right now. By the way, that is a little lower than normal levels. We are a town of 13,000 people. Normally in December, we're hovering around 250 listings to 300 listings in a market like ours in December. So it's a little concerning to be that little of active listings. And by the way, it's been that way all of 2017. If that continues, we will have a short supply, high demand scenario, which could result in higher prices. So keep your eye on that. By the way, my website, if you haven't used it, please use it. I think you'll find it one of the better ones. I put a lot into the site to make it very easy to navigate with all the information, photos, etc. So please use the site. You will like it. Let's look at a few stats here. This is the last 12 months in terms of, sold listings, active listings, and median price. So you can see that, the green has the active listings, the solds are in blue. And, you might look at that and go, wow, there wasn't as many, sold listings compared to actives. Well, there's a reason for that. A lot of sellers are a little too optimistic on their asking prices. And as a result, buyers don't buy them. So there is usually, when you look at 156 listings, there's usually only a percentage of those listings that would be considered fair market value, because I have to say, probably 60 to 65% of sellers overprice their properties. It's very common in any market, not just Canmore. That's one of the reasons why there's always more listings than buyer inventory. It's not that the buyers wouldn't buy, it's just that many of them will wait until a property comes on that would have good value. So if people would just be a little bit more realistic on their prices, you would actually see even that volume of sales go up. But it'll probably never be that way because, like I said, there's always a higher percentage of people that ask too much money for their properties. They just feel that it's worth that, and that's what they do. You'll notice that the median price there has stayed, relatively constant. There are moments throughout the year where it's a little bit higher. Demand goes up and pricing can go up, or it just means that some higher priced properties can sell in those months and some of the lower priced properties in other months. So it's not really an indication of, is the market going up or down just by that chart, just so you know. Canmore residential property sales to listings ratio. Again, this is just a bit of a deeper understanding of, where we are in terms of active to sold listings. It's just another detailed chart of that. I'm just going to move down here now to sold to list price ratios. A lot of people ask me all the time, if I see a property for, $1 million, what can I get it for? Well, there's a lot of factors that go into that, by the way, but if we're looking at just the average, you can see that, we've been hovering around 97 to 98%, but in some cases, you can see in April of this year, the properties that sold were literally almost 100% of asking price. So, you can't just blanket say that properties are going to sell for dramatically less. I think buyers just naturally think that they should, but when properties are priced properly, which is exactly what buyers are looking for, you can expect to spend approximately 2% of, under the asking price. Then, of course, if you look at the days on market, well, on average, right now, we're about 75 days to sell a property, and that's not bad, considering the way that our market is. A lot of markets in Canada would be a lot more than that. Hot markets, of course, they can sell in, 15 to 20 days, but 75 days, that's not a bad scenario. And what that, tells me for buyers is you got a little bit of breathing room, but again, it doesn't mean that some properties won't sell, in a matter of days. So just keep that in mind too. So the bottom line is, just to give you an idea of what I think 2018 is going to look like, this is a market that's international. There is a lot of people that want to own real estate here. A lot of people have part-time properties here. So there's always a demand for Canmore. Yes, the prices are obviously higher than most markets in the Alberta market, for example. But keeping that in mind, we're not as susceptible to the Alberta economy when it comes to Canmore. You'll notice that in this market downturn of Alberta, we didn't necessarily drop in price like other markets did around the province. So I'm expecting that we will see some growth this year. I don't think it will be huge growth, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if the average price went up 3 or 4% in 2018. I expect that inventory levels will improve as we come to the, spring months, but I still think that the market has been so strong. I'm not expecting that we're going to see as many people selling. So I think that if you're really looking to buy in Canmore, it may be wise to try to buy in the first quarter of 2018, if at all possible. You might find that by the end of the year that you'll thank yourself. If you're looking at selling, you might want to wait till the spring market. There'll be a little bit more of a demand at that time. However, keep in mind, in early quarter, you can find that there's less people selling. So sometimes having less competing properties can also help you. My job, just so you know, is to provide accurate data for buyers and for sellers. That's what a good realtor does, and help you get some insight on those numbers and give you advice on, how to prepare your home if you're selling, if you're a buyer, how to prepare you for, what you can expect when you buy a property and all the pros and cons that go with that. So I just want you to know, if you reach out to me, I'll make sure that you get the accurate data you're looking for. I've done this for 18 years. I have a lot of experience behind me, so I'm usually good at giving good advice to people, and they appreciate that. It points them in the right direction. That's what a good agent does. So feel free to reach out to me, call me, text me, email me, Facebook Messenger, whatever method you prefer, and I will get back to you, and hopefully we will get to know each other in the new year. All the best.